Hello. My credit card is missing from my wallet. Do you know anything about it? Nah, it's already been found out. I thought it wouldn't be noticed for a while since you're old. But that was unexpected. Wait a minute. So, the $50,000 that was spent without my permission, was it all used by you? It's just because it's my wife's birthday, so I borrowed it a bit. We're staying in a grand suite at a super luxury hotel, you know. $10,000 per night for 5 days. It's great. Well, I'm thinking of going to another country, so see you. Hey, wait a minute. I divorced my husband 30 years ago and raised my sons on my own. While my younger son supports me even now as an adult, my eldest son is the exact opposite. The last time he came home, he stole my credit card from my wallet and spent $50,000 at a luxury hotel. It feels like he has no human heart, committing almost criminal acts. I raised my eldest son with all my might and supported him in various ways even after he became an adult. But now, I don't think of him as my son anymore. 2 minutes later, I did something and then called my eldest son's wife. Hello, you're with my son, right? I just contacted the card company and stopped the credit card. Also, I will consult the police about the theft and misuse. I informed my eldest son's wife and hung up the phone. I immediately blocked their calls, and by now, they must be panicking with pale faces. I wonder how they plan to spend their time there now that the credit card is stopped. Since they were considering going to another country, it means they don't have a return flight ticket, and trouble is inevitable. And a week later, they had to come and apologize to me on their knees. I am a 65-year-old woman living alone in New York. I divorced my husband 30 years ago and raised my 2 sons by myself. I used to work, but now I'm retired and enjoying my later years. And I'm home. Here, this is for you. I bought your favorite cake. Oh, thank you. You didn't have to go out of your way. Even after moving out, my younger son frequently visits home. He works for a company with good work-life balance, allowing him to leave on time. Since he's unmarried, he often spends evenings and nights at home, and sometimes stays over if the next day is off. It's not that he hasn't grown independent, but he worries about me living alone. I'm fine living by myself, but I always feel that he is really kind. On the contrary, I wasn't very welcoming when my eldest son and his wife occasionally visited. Hey, can you lend me some money? It's our wedding anniversary next week, and we're planning a domestic trip. So, we need some cash. If you need money, why don't you use your savings? How can I have savings with my salary? Well, you live in a nice apartment and bought a car. Isn't that self-inflicted? Please, I'll pay you back. Don't make it hard for me. Since moving out after graduating college, my eldest son frequently asked to borrow money. After his marriage, the amount increased, and I don't remember him ever paying back. I didn't want to lend money to someone who can't keep promises. That was my honest feeling. We are family, but as individuals, shouldn't we keep our promises? I didn't raise him to be a person who begs for money from his parents, but that's what he turned into. However, I had a considerable amount of retirement money and personal investments, so I wasn't financially struggling. Honestly, I didn't want to lend money, but as a mother, I ended up doing so when my son was in trouble. I thought I should be stricter, but I lent money each time my eldest son asked. Then one day, I have something to discuss. Actually, I caused a traffic accident and need a lump sum of money, but we don't have that much in savings. They said they'll sue us if we don't pay. What? A traffic accident? You know, I've been working a lot to pay you back. and I guess I was too tired. I was shocked to hear about the accident, but I was relieved they weren't harmed. Maybe my pressure to repay the money affected him. I felt a bit responsible, though it's not my fault. This time, unlike before, my eldest son and his wife needed money for an emergency. They had no choice but to pay. Okay, I'll arrange it. How much do you need? $30,000. $30,000. Such a large amount. It's obvious they're being overcharged. Although compensation might cost a fair amount, they didn't have a scratch. It couldn't have been that big of an accident. Maybe it was someone they shouldn't have hit. But paying such a large sum easily is out of the question. That's too much. Why are you being charged so much? The other party had a very expensive car, and the repair costs are crazy. Why not use insurance for the repairs? I don't have voluntary insurance, so it's all on us. What about compulsory insurance? It doesn't cover everything, right? I'm in trouble if I don't pay this amount. Can you help? My eldest son and his wife said this and pleaded for my help. The fact that my eldest son and his wife pleaded and acted so humbly was unprecedented. It must be a really dire situation. I sighed but felt that I had to help. After all, we're family, and I need to assist them when they are in trouble. All right. I'll prepare the money, but make sure you pay it back, okay? Got it. Thank you. I arranged the money under the promise of repayment, but since then, there was no contact from my eldest son and his wife. A week passed, and I started wondering why they hadn't contacted me about the situation with the accident. One day, I went shopping after a long time. When I opened my wallet to pay, I realized that 3 of my credit cards were missing. Seriously. Could it be a burglary? I hadn't touched this wallet recently, and forgetting it somewhere was out of the question. There were no signs of a break-in, and the cash in my wallet was still there. What is going on? Something very bad might be happening. In a panic, I remembered that in the past week, I hadn't touched my wallet or left the house. The only visitors had been my eldest son and his wife. Could it be? I immediately contacted my eldest son. Hello. Do you have a moment now? Time? Well, I'm free, but it's rare for you to call, Mom. His cheerful tone. Could he be drunk? He should be busy with the accident, but drinking in the middle of the day. What is he thinking? I was getting angry. Are you drinking by any chance? Not really. What do you need? Do you know anything about my credit cards? They're not in my wallet. No. So it's been discovered already? I thought it would take longer for you to notice, but that was quick. What does he mean? Could my eldest son and his wife have stolen from my wallet? It's the same as theft. Although I didn't want to believe it. Anyone would think the same after hearing his words. It was clear that the eldest son and his wife were suspicious, but I never imagined it would be revealed so easily. I was momentarily unable to process the situation, but my son continued to speak. And I just borrowed some money. Your credit cards are pretty useful, you know. We're overseas for my wife's birthday, staying in a top-tier suite W. The trip cost a total of $50,000. It's the best to indulge with someone else's money without any worries. This can't be my son. Someone crazy must be pretending to be him. I wanted to believe that from the bottom of my heart. However, the person I was speaking to was undeniably my son, revealing a side of him I had never seen in over 30 years. My heart felt torn apart, and I was speechless from the betrayal by a family member. Why would he betray me like this? Weren't we a family? My son, unaware of my farts, seemed to be laughing happily. Using someone's credit card without permission. Do you think that's okay? You know the difference between right and wrong. And about the money I lent you for the accident, you haven't repaid it yet, and now you steal my card? That's just insane. I blurted out the words that came straight from my heart. Please, just apologize. Even a single word of apology might make me feel like forgiving my son. That's what I hoped for in my heart. But the voice that came back wasn't my son's. With all due respect, you have quite a lot of money saved up, right? Then, why not let us use a bit of it? Money is meant to be spent, not just saved, you know? So, that's the deal. I'm really lucky to have such a smart wife. Anyway, we're going to enjoy ourselves now, so don't contact us again. With that, my son hung up the phone. A smart wife. What does that mean? Could it be that the wife planned this all along, not my son? If that's the case, this situation changes a bit. My son is still family, but as for his wife, it's different. It's basically a crime. Even among family, it's prohibited to lend or borrow credit cards. What are they thinking? All that was left in me was anger, and it took some time to cool my head and become calm. I had a rough idea of the whole story, so I had a plan of my own. 2 minutes after hanging up the phone, I called again. This time, it was my eldest son's wife. Hello? What do you want? We're on a trip, and we told you not to contact us. I'm calling out of kindness, and that's the attitude I get, kindness. I've contacted the credit card company about the stolen and misused cards. They've been blocked, so don't panic when you can't use them. I made it clear to her. Borrowing credit cards is not permissible, and this was outright misuse. Did they think I would just let it go? If so, that's foolish thinking. Wait, what do you mean you blocked the credit cards? We can't make payments now. I can't just ignore the misuse of my cards. I haven't done anything wrong, have I? We haven't even booked our return tickets yet. How are we supposed to get home? Contact the credit card company now and make the cards usable again. Is this how desperate people behave? If they really needed money, they could have humbly pleaded like with the accident. Can't they do that after revealing their true nature? I was beyond anger and felt only disdain for them, but I ended the call. Then, I blocked their numbers and temporarily blocked them on Messenger and other contact methods. I didn't want to talk or see these two anymore. No matter how much they begged, I wouldn't help them. I contacted my younger son, warning him that they might cause trouble. A week later, hello? About my brother and his wife. Well, I paid for them, so they're coming back. But they might be holding a grudge against you. I understand. If they come to the house, I'll handle it. Don't worry. Well, considering how foolish that couple is, it's quite possible they're blaming me for their own actions. I felt sorry for troubling my younger son, so I waited for their return, planning to give them a taste of their own medicine. The next day, they predictably came to my place. Hey, do you have any idea how much trouble you caused us? What do you think family is for? Have you ever thought about how we felt, stranded overseas with nothing to do? They started barking at me like dogs as soon as they arrived. It just confirmed that stupid people can only shout and berate. They should have logically put together their arguments to at least claim some righteousness. But I guess they had no intention of apologizing. Really, just barking like a mindless dog. I didn't expect much from you two. Anyway, you either report to the police or make a lump sum repayment. Choose one? Huh? Police? What are you talking about? That's right. Cut it out. You blocked a credit card and troubled us. You should be taking responsibility for that. What do these people eat to become so delusional? I never imagined meeting such people in my over 60 years of life. But I was serious. You know, if someone who isn't the card holder uses a credit card, it's considered fraud against the company. Even among family, card borrowing is prohibited. If I report this to the police, it's you who'll be in trouble. I'm offering to forgive you with a lump sum repayment, so you should be grateful instead. Even if you say that, you know we're financially struggling right now, right? Oh, the accident story. I know that's a lie, and I'll be demanding that money back. Huh? As I said this, both of them opened their eyes and mouths wide in surprise. Dogs wouldn't even make such a foolish face. I chuckled inwardly. If they thought they could deceive me without getting caught, they were hugely mistaken. It's about time they stopped taking me for a fool. The car accident. Why? After the phone call about the credit card, I spoke to your younger brother. He said you've recently been living it up. Plus, there wasn't any car accident, was there? His house is near yours, so he checked on it, and your car was just fine. That guy, meddling in our business. So, the whole story was a lie, huh? Well, I might not be able to sue my own son, but your wife isn't my family. I could sue her for fraud, you know? At this, the eldest son's wife began to look around nervously, clearly disturbed. Has she finally realized the severity of her actions? It's too late for that, and I'm frankly disgusted by her lack of apology. Both of them just stared at the ground in silence, without a single word of apology. Such senseless people. As I thought this, I continued. Anyway, I'm demanding a full repayment of the money. If you can't do that, I'll report it to the police. And of course, I'll make sure you won't inherit any of my savings, and I'm cutting ties with you. Wait, we're family. You don't have to be so harsh, right? It was just youthful folly. Youthful folly at your age. If you think that excuse will work, maybe I should really report you to the police? Then you can learn about the harshness of the real world. Their attitude of making excuses until the very end infuriated me. Don't make me any angrier. For now, all I'm asking from you is to disown and repay the money. That's it. I said this and kicked them out of my house. They tried to contact me several times afterward, but I completely ignored them. Eventually, they came back to my house to apologize, but it was too late to accept any apologies. I immediately contacted my lawyer to discuss the repayment. Eventually, my eldest son and his wife resigned themselves and promised to repay me. Listen, I really am sorry and I promise to repay, but can we do it in installments? There's no way we can repay $80,000 all at once. That's obviously impossible. Why don't you take out a loan? Sell the car, your beloved brand goods. You can easily gather the money that way. Don't make me any angrier, okay? Of course, I didn't accept any proposal for installments. Whether they took out loans was none of my business. Despite their many pleas through the lawyer, I never agreed. Reluctantly, the couple took out personal loans and even resorted to loan sharks for the remaining amount. They lost almost all their possessions, not just the car. And now my eldest son's wife has to work just to pay the interest every month. They're struggling, completely controlled by money now. I don't know how long this will go on, but it's the result of their own actions. It's too late for regrets. They should live with this suffering. As for me, I'm living a happy life on my own. Life isn't just about money. You have to live without being swayed by it.